I think it says that we are live streaming right now. Hello, everyone. Welcome to our Facebook Live. We're very excited to be chatting with Mike and Susan from RV Blogger.
Hey, everybody.
RV Blogger is one of our newest affiliates. We're really excited today. Stick around. You won't want to miss the interview. If you have any questions for myself and Wholesale Warranties or Mike and Susan, leave them in the comment section below and we'll do our best to answer them as quick as we can. My name is Jim Hoffman. I'm the Vice President here at Wholesale Warranties. Mike and Susan, thanks so much for taking time to sit down and chat with us. We really appreciate it. We're excited to hear about you two and RV Bloggers. How are you guys doing?
We are doing great.
Yeah.
We are enjoying our time right now. We're at home. We just went down to College Park this morning and moved Susan's daughter out of her apartment. She's going to move to a new apartment for her senior year at college.
Right.
So we're enjoying our time here. It's her birthday today as well. So we have all that
22.
going on, and it's an exciting time right now.
Well, that is exciting.
Yeah.
And so, you know, we just recently partnered up and we're doing our best. As I was sharing with you before we went live, we just came back into the office on a hybrid schedule. So we're just kind of trying to piece some of this stuff back together as we get going. And I'm obviously incredibly excited to have you guys on our first Facebook Live. And I don't know how long because of COVID, but you guys have been navigating okay during the pandemic.
Yeah, I would say for the most part, we really have. We made out really well. We book our campsites way far in advance. And so, you know, for example, this year, we booked all of our campsites the end of last year. And I think we finished our booking in February.
We're even starting on next year already.
Yeah, we've already got stuff booked out into 2022. So we made out just fine. We didn't get stuck anywhere or, you know, have to leave anywhere. And we got into every campground we wanted to. So we made out okay through it all.
And knock on wood, family's all healthy. Everybody's doing okay.
Yep.
Good. And we'll get into to that planning ahead and things along those lines a little bit later with some of the videos and the website. But, you know, for our viewers who may be hearing of RV Blogger for the first time, can you tell us a little bit about your backstory and how you guys got here?
Yeah, sure. Well, Susan came up with an idea back in 2017?
Yes.
To go on a vacation and rent a camper van for 10 days and cruise the PCH in California. And I thought it was a fantastic idea. We had both RV'd before that, but we didn't own an RV yet.
We hadn't yet with each other.
Yeah. And, you know, we were both big campers and all that stuff, but I realized like there's no bathroom in a camper van that we were going to rent. And then Susan was like, you know, we could rent an RV instead. And I didn't even know you could rent an RV. So we did it. We had the best 10 days of our lives and it just changed everything. I mean, after that, I fell in love with RVing. I wanted to learn every single thing I could about it. And so through us going through and learning and buying our RV and having certain issues pop up because we bought a used RV, we had to make repairs and things. So we just started making YouTube videos. We started the blog. We wanted to just share everything that we were learning. And we enjoy that process so much. We like to research things, try things, compare things. It's just kind of how we are. And so it lent itself, that sort of skill set of ours lent itself really well to starting the blog. And then after that, we started the YouTube channel. And then after that, we started our RV camping magazine. So we've really enjoyed it and tried to make the most of it.
That's interesting that you started by kind of renting one out. Did you ever consider that type of lifestyle before, or was it just kind of just a surprise that you enjoyed that adventure so much?
Yeah, we had never considered the lifestyle. I mean, even when we rented the RV, we had no thought of living in an RV full time or anything like that. But after having the experience, it really changed everything. Those 10 days changed the rest of our lives. I mean, they were really impactful. And, you know, I couldn't go back to work anymore. I just knew like I need to figure out I got to be on the road. I've got to be exploring things. And Susan luckily feels the same way. So,
And I grew up camping. I grew up with my family camping and then with my children camping. So we've done that for years. But this was the first time with us. And at the time, it was just the perfect way to be able to travel and see as much land as possible, to not be limited to where we go, what we do, and what we see.
Yeah.
So, and from that, it, turned into what we have now.
That's awesome. I love your guys' story because, in those 10 days, and there's no, no denying it and no hiding it, you literally are saying that it changed your life, and you guys are found in passion. You're just out there doing what you love, which is great. Can you talk, so you mentioned kind of like your YouTube channel, one of the things that impresses me the most about your guys' sites, either videos or websites, is how much information you guys have out there. But before we get into actually, how much content is out there, how did your channel and website get started? Like how did that idea come about? Because obviously you traveled your 10 days, you're like, this is what we're going to do. Yeah. Where did the notion or the idea come from to really spawn off and create this?
So I guess what happened is after those 10 days, I was determined to figure out a way to leave my corporate job and just travel full time. And so I was looking for a business or something that I could start that would lead to us being able to travel and enjoy the RV lifestyle and, earn an income while we were doing it. And I checked out a whole bunch of different businesses, but I finally landed on blogging after. It's a really long story how I got there, but I landed on creating a website and writing a blog about what we were doing. And I spent about a year learning how to blog and learning all about keyword research and how to set up a website and everything you need to know. And it's a ton. And I would say I have about a full-time job's worth, 40 hours a week of learning how to do it. And then I finally left my job and started the blog, and I've been doing it full time. So I put a ton of work into it. But that's kind of how it all started. And then after that, we knew we were going to start a YouTube channel at some point. I had a sort of a strategic plan to start the YouTube channel like 2 years after the blog had launched. But the blog launched and it just took off like a rocket. I mean, we were shocked at how quickly things grew and how many people were interacting with us. And so Susan was like, let's start the YouTube channel now. And it was like, I don't know, 9 months into the blog. And I was like, no, it's too early. This isn't the plan. I don't even know what to do. What are we going to do? And so she talked me into it, and I'm glad she did, because that's been great. It's been so much fun. I did a minimum amount of research on that because I didn't have a lot of time. And we just started blogging about, or making YouTube videos about some of our more popular blog posts that had done really well. And then that resonated with our audience as well. And then things took off from there also. So the YouTube channel's we're coming up on 2 years in September. Mm-hmm. And that's done really great too. And we have met so many people on the YouTube channel because everybody writes stuff in the comments. And
right,
we really, really try our best to answer every single one of the comments. And so we've met all these great people who have given us amazing feedback and great ideas to make YouTube videos about. And so it's been so much fun just communicating back and forth and getting great ideas and getting good feedback. And it's really helped us to learn and grow as well. So it's been a fun trip.
One of because I have a few questions on the YouTube channel, but one of the things that you mentioned, and I can see it in the way that you guys speak about RVing, and then also in your videos, is how much you respect and appreciate the RV community, right? Because it's such a niche. It's not for everybody, right? But
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever heard a story of somebody going to a campground, an RV site, anything along those lines, and going up to a neighbor and asking for help or borrowing flour or sugar and having a bad response. You know, there's just something about the community that makes us all enjoy, you know, however we're able to get a little part of that.
Right.
Now, speaking of your YouTube channel, so I went down kind of the rabbit hole of looking through your content. And again, for our viewers, for those that may be only hearing of RV Blogger for the first time, whether you're new to RVing or you've been a full-timer for years, I really highly encourage you to check out their site, their website, their YouTube, their blog. Speaking of the YouTube videos, I mean, what videos haven't you done? Like, I mean, the topics that you guys, and truthfully, when I looked at it, I'm so impressed in the essence where it's not just a cookie cutter. Here's a few things, you know, here's this or here's that. I mean, you guys have videos covering literally the gamut of what I would want to know if I was a first-time RVer, or I was about to take my first trip, maybe coming up in Labor Day in September, and I want to do some research. I mean, there's you guys have so much content out there and so much valuable content to those individuals. Yeah, is there a video that you haven't, or a topic that you haven't covered that you're looking forward to yet?
Oh gosh, I don't know. I mean, we're always open to suggestions, and we're always trying. I think that the RV newbie seems to be our most passionate, you know, avenue of who we want to reach, because we understand that, you know, before we rented and Mike did his research, he did most of his research from YouTube, watching videos. How do you do this? How do you do that? How do you hook up the septic? You know, how do you plan in your route? And so, you know, we completely understand what it's like to be brand new and just feel so like, where do I even start?
Yeah.
So, you know, even with our Facebook group, RV Camping for Newbies, it's just, you know, it's so inspiring to see people excited, like, thank you so much. You showed us an RV we're looking for. You showed us how to do this, and I feel so much more confident. So, I don't know. I mean, there's just a ton of things. I mean, eventually we might dig more into kind of the RV lifestyle, but right now we really like to focus on whatever we can do to educate.
Yeah. We haven't really focused on ourselves like, hey, here we are at this place and this location. We don't really do that so much, but maybe someday we will. And like Susan said, we really try to concentrate on educating other RVers or beginners, or even folks that have been out there a long time. You can always learn something new.
Yeah.
I know we do all the time.
Right. Things break all the time, or you upgrade. You may have a travel trailer and you decide you want a Class C or a Class A, you know, and if we can show you what's out there, you know, what some options are, and then we've done our job.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the answer may be the same, but what's for you two? What's the best part of your YouTube channel? Would you say?
I know what it is for me.
What?
It's when people tell me that I look like Sean Connery. It just makes my day every single time. I'm like, all right, I guess I'll take it.
Amazing. Now, off the cuff, favorite Sean Connery movie?
I don't even know.
Yeah.
My favorite Sean Connery thing is when the guy imitates Sean Connery on Saturday Night Live.
Yes.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
I
say, Mike, that is
the Jeopardy.
I don't know how appropriate that is for this particular or for this Facebook Live, because he gets a little dicey there with Alex Trebek, if memory serves me. That is pretty good.
It's pretty fun.
That's probably our sense of humor.
But I would
How about you, Susan? What's the thing that you've enjoyed the most from your YouTube channel?
I would say, like, as a person doing the channel, I really enjoy the tours, because to me that's kind of like my version of House Hunters RV.
Oh yeah.
But what I get out of the channel is when I do read people's comments that are like, oh my gosh, thank you so much. I'm looking for this. And, you know, because a lot of our videos are kind of niched to a specific type of RV, size of RV or something, you know, people might say, oh, well, I'm looking for something 25 feet or less. And I'm like, no problem. We have that video. So it just has been a rewarding feeling to know that so many people, you know, have gotten value out of it.
Yeah, no, and I think the way that you guys spoke earlier about the comments, you know, I think it shows how much you care about them, right? Because you can leave comments, but if the author or the publisher interacts back with you, like you guys mentioned and that you guys do, it makes it that much more conversational and that much more impactful on their portion.
Right.
Switching over, let's chat a little bit about your website. So if I understand you correctly, Mike does all this research on becoming a blogger. He's learning it. He's got to get it down before he leaves a corporate job. He gets it, and then a little bit later on, Susan's like, "Hey, we're just jumping in. We're diving in. We're gonna make some videos. We're gonna own that section. We're just diving right in." And then now website, kind of different context, but it's still very valuable. Share a little bit about that with us.
So the website has, I forget how many, over 410 articles on there now that we've written in about 2.5 years of blogging. And so we look at that as like a really great resource to learn just about anything you want to know about RVing. If you go on our website and you type something in the search bar, chances are I've probably written an article about it. And, you know, it's very, very informational. And all the articles on there are really meant to answer a kind of a specific question, right? So it might be, you know, do I need to grease my trailer hitch ball, which gets like over 10,000 views a month. But I wrote the article and I was like, well, there's nobody that's really answered the question. And so I'll rank for it on Google, but I don't know if anybody's searching for this question either. But now there's 10,000 people a month that come to the website because of that one article. It's crazy. But, you know, so I really try to find things like where I've run into a situation and I'm like, oh, I need to write an article about this because I don't know the answer. And if I don't know the answer, I bet a lot of people don't know the answer either. And so, you know, I really try to take the time and research and figure things out and learn really what is the best way to do just about anything. And then I try to share that information. And, you know, we've spent lots of time and lots of money on different products and ways of doing things that haven't worked out. And even in the articles where we write about things that we use and, you know, we'll show ourselves with our own gear. We try to really just recommend things we really actually use ourselves.
Right.
And there's, you know, that way we can really give the best information we can. It might not be what you're looking for if, you know, you want me to give you a different answer, but we really try to focus on here's what we've done, here's what worked, and here's what hasn't worked. It doesn't mean it's the only way to do it. It's just that's our experience that we're sharing. And there's a lot of different ways to do things. You know, we meet people all the time that even in the comments on there, somebody will write and say, hey, you know, I've used this product. Like we wrote an article about Flex Seal, using Flex Seal on your roof. Is it a good fix to use permanently, or is it really just a temporary fix to get you from point A to point B? And initially I wrote the article saying, hey, it's really just a temporary fix. But since I wrote that article, I've received so much feedback that from people that have said, I've used Flex Seal on my roof and it's held up for 5 years. So now I'm going to probably go back and revise that article to include that feedback because I have enough information now from other folks that I feel like, okay, you know, maybe what I wrote about being temporary isn't really accurate. Maybe I should expand the article and revise it and share other people's point of views on there as well. And that's really a big part of what I enjoy is all that research, figuring things out, and then sharing what we've learned. So.
Well, and I think that's, you know, that's really cool, right? So if I go back to the tow hitch one and greasing the tow hitch, you know, and we were kind of chuckling about it on where it might rank on Google and stuff like that. But what I took away from that is, you know, there's 8,000 to 10,000 people that were looking for that answer, right?
Yeah.
And that might be one of those questions that they might even be too embarrassed to ask their mechanic or neighbor or stranger, you know, excuse me. But you were able to provide that answer to, you know, 10,000 views. Obviously, there's a handful of people out there that were needing it, you know. And then the other thing that I really admire is the Flex Seal component, right? So you wrote an article that said, yeah, you're probably going to want to do it short term, but based on the feedback you have gotten, you're going to spend the time to go back and re-look at your article and maybe say, hey, it's working for some people. But I think the takeaway there for me, selfishly, is that you're willing to kind of gather some of this information that the regular RVer may not know, right? Or may have questions about, and then put it out there. Whether they choose to use it or not is up to them, but at least you're getting it out there and you're putting it in a way which, you know, they can research quickly, which I think is a real testament to you guys and giving back to the RV community. So I compliment you on that. That's, to me, that's impressive.
Oh, wow.
You know, talking about your website, tell us a little bit, or, you know, which maybe RV training courses you might recommend, because there are so many new RVers that are coming into the niche market with the pandemic and with everything else. And there seems to be a handful of different RV training courses out there. And, you know, from somebody like yourselves, be curious to hear what you guys think about that.
Yeah, there are a bunch of RV training courses out there, and some people have even asked us to make one. But when I was learning how to RV and I was watching YouTube videos, there's a lot, you know, once you make a YouTube video, you can't go back and edit it or change it. It's done. That's it. So there's a lot of information out there that's outdated, or maybe it wasn't completed as much as you would like it to be. And so I realized, like, you know, there maybe are some better training courses rather than just watching YouTube videos to get my information. And so I found one called RV Education 101, and Mark Polk and his wife Dawn created a whole entire training course for all different types of RVs. And they have different courses for motorhomes or travel trailers or fifth wheels. They cover winterizing your RV. I bought their courses and they are fantastic. Mark has been in the industry for, I think, over 30 years. He's worked at RV dealerships. He's sold RVs. He's managed dealerships. He's done a lot. And so his training courses are just fantastic. And the other advantage to them is everything you need is in one place and you know where it is. You don't have to remember, like, oh, which YouTube video was it that I learned that, you know, you have the course, it's all in one place. If you need to go back to it and refer to something, you have it and you can do that. But I find their courses to be very, very thorough, very complete. And so on our website, we have a section for RV courses, but I just have all his courses listed on there and recommend, you know, that folks go ahead and buy those. Now, full disclosure, I am an affiliate for them, so I do make a small commission on them, but I really believe in them and I've used them myself, or I wouldn't go ahead and recommend them to anyone.
Yeah. No, I think that's evident by, you know, just how you guys carry yourself and what you display out there. You know, if you're not going to stand behind it, it's not going to be something that's literally, you know, on your website. Tell us, what about the RV Scholarship Fund?
Oh, the RV. Well, we were trying to find a way to give back to the RV community this year. And so at the end of 2020, coming into 2021, you know, we're trying to figure out like what we could do. We wanted to have some sort of charitable thing that we could do to help the community out. And we came up with the idea of maybe doing a scholarship for kids that want to go to college and become like environmental scientists or things like that. We threw it out to the Facebook group, which our Facebook group has grown to over 45,000 people now. It's called RV Camping for Newbies. And it's just over, I think it just turned a year old.
Oh, wow. Okay.
At the beginning of July. I mean, it's been incredible. So threw the question out to the group, and one of the group members said, you know what the RV community really needs more than they do need to send kids to college. That's important. We need wildlife biologists and things like that. But we also need RV mechanics, because more people than ever are buying RVs. And if you've ever had your RV break down and you took it to the dealer and you've lost half your summer waiting to get your RV back, I mean, that's just no fun. And so we started the scholarship program. And so we want to give scholarships to people that want to become RV mechanics. And we also want to give a scholarship or 2 or 3, however much money we can raise, to kids that want to go to college and become, you know, study the environmental sciences or things like that. So it's kind of a dual scholarship program, one for RV mechanics and one for maybe kids that want to go to college. Now we are in the middle of getting our 501c3 from the IRS so we can be tax deductible. And so we're waiting for that any day. And then once that happens, we'll be much more involved in, you know, spreading the word about the scholarship program. But it's just our way of trying to find a cool way to give back and you know, do something great. And we have a lot of partners out there who are contributing money, like RV Life, The Dirt, Togo RV, Outdoorsy. I mean, a lot of our affiliate partners are teaming up with us and contributing funds to the scholarship program. So right off the bat, you know, we hope to be able to give out 8 scholarships, $1,000 scholarships in the beginning of 2022. And, you know, hopefully beyond, it'll even grow past that as we engage the RV community, our followers and all, to be able to contribute. We haven't asked for contributions because we're not fully tax deductible yet, but once we are, we'll get started down that road as well.
Yeah. Well, make sure that you ping us for that. You know, once that 501 comes through. I mean, I know Wholesale, you know, being in the claims environment and trying to navigate everything that is COVID and the low, not low, but finding a good technician, an RV technician is a rarity, right? And I can totally agree with where you guys, you know, on the scholarships for environmental, for animals. I think all of those are good. I think the mechanic one is a skilled trade that is probably losing steam. Yet the number of RVs, you know, we've been in talk with some manufacturers that they're already sold out in 22. That every VIN number that they're going to make in 22 is already spoken for.
Right.
And so the kind of the hope, I know, kind of the hope that, oh, I can wait till next year to get one, you know, it's going to be a while. You got to catch up. The supply and demand have to balance out in order for that to happen. And a big part of that is, do you have the mechanics to fix it, right? And so, you know, when that 501 comes through, make sure you request a little help from our way, and we'd be happy to help out.
Oh, that's awesome. We appreciate that. Thank you.
Of course. So let's dive into the online magazine. We're doing pretty good on time, but I want to be respectful. But so RV Camping Magazine, let's chat about that a little bit. What are we looking for inside that cover?
Well, every month we interview a very, very well-known RVer, and we feature them on the front cover of the magazine. So I kid around. We're kind of like the People magazine of the RV community. And so, our first month in June, we started out with Phil and Stacy from Yumi and the RV. And then in July, we featured the RV Geeks on the front cover. And then in August, our third magazine's coming out on this Sunday on August 1st, and we have Changing Lanes on the front cover. And we do a cool Q&A session with all these well-known RVers for that feature article to get to know them and what full-time RV life is like on the road. And so that's a lot of fun. And I just so much enjoy getting to know everybody so well. It's been really, really cool. Mm-hmm. And then beyond that, we have other departments in the magazine as well, like Are We There Yet?, which is where we cover a really cool destination each month. And so we covered like some of the big parks in Utah. And then in this coming month, we have like Glacier National Park that'll be featured with Mr. and Mrs. Adventure, who are amazing people. They have an amazing YouTube channel, and they really are Mr. and Mrs. Adventure. I mean, they just get out there and go for it. They're in their 20s. I mean, I just wish I was them sometimes. I could go back in time and start in my 20s, I would.
Yeah, if we knew then what we knew now.
Yeah. But we have that, and then we have the National RV Training Academy contributes an article every month where they'll cover, you know, like this month they're going to cover like what size extension cord is too long if you're mooch docking and you need to run an extension cord from your house to your RV. You know, what's safe, what's not safe, what, you know, what can go wrong, and how do you protect yourself and your RV. So, and we have recipes that we feature every month. We try to do an RV renovation every month, and some of those have been beautiful.
Right.
We have a schoolie on this month. This couple took a school bus and renovated it, and it's just amazing to see the pictures. And
oh wow,
it's all like before and after stuff too, so you can see how much work they did. It's really neat. So we've enjoyed the magazine so much because it gives us a chance to interact with other YouTubers and other bloggers that are RVers, and allow them to share their content in our magazine, so you can get to know them and their website or their YouTube channel as well. It's just been fun for us to meet all these folks and work with them.
I mean, I'm hooked. I got to see this bus, to be honest with you. How do I sign up? Is there a fee? Is it a subscription? How do I get that?
Well, here's what our vision was for the magazine. We want it to be free for everybody that wants to read it. And so it is 100% free. And all you have to do is go to rvblogger.com, and in our menu bar, it says RV Camping Magazine. Just click on there, enter your first name and your email address, and every month you'll get your free copy right in your email. Simple as that.
Oh, that is great.
And there's video in it as well. So some people will include a YouTube video, either of their adventure or of, you know, their story. So, because you can get it on your tablet, your computer, you know, your phone.
Yeah, so that's one really cool feature we're super proud to have in our magazine. It's a digital video magazine. It's not in print form, but it's, you know, you watch it on your computer or your tablet or your phone, and the videos are embedded right in the magazine, so you can watch it, you know, watch someone's YouTube channel while you're reading the article about them.
See, to me, it's almost more like an Us Weekly than a People's Magazine, because it's kind of like a behind the scenes. Might be aging myself there. I'm not sure, but
I like that. I think I like that better. I've never read People or Us magazine, but I like that analogy much better.
I mean, from someone who may have dabbled in both, it just seems like it has a little bit more of an Us Weekly flair. But you know, I'll have to wait to read it now that I know where to go and get it. So, you know, as it pertains to the RV Camping Magazine, what do you think your favorite project has been thus far since launching that?
Wow, that's a tough one. I don't know. I enjoy them all so much. I mean, working with Phil and Stacy for the first issue was a whole lot of fun. They were very, very gracious and helped us work through pulling it all together, because
it was the first one. They were very patient, understanding, and supportive.
Yeah. And we've never done a magazine before. We have no experience with it. So it was super great working with them. The RV Geeks issue was fantastic because their Q&A was just so insightful and real. I mean, by the time I was done reading their Q&A, wherever I wanted to drive to, wherever they were, to just meet them in person and be like, hey, you know, you guys are awesome. I mean, they really, really just told their story in a very, very transparent way. It was a fantastic Q&A with them. And then this month with Changing Lanes, I don't know, Chad and Tara are really pretty cool RVers. And I'm sorry, Tara, I call my sister-in-law's name is Tara, so I always say it wrong.
That's a trick. There's a few of those, like Anna or Anna. They're just they get a little tricky.
Yep. So sorry, Tara, but it's Chad and Tara. And But they're like the coolest RVers out there, right? They have the motorcycle, they have the sunglasses, you know, they're out there cruising around, and their videos are all about their lifestyle and what it's like for them to be full-time on the road every day. And so I don't know. It's really hard to pick which one's my favorite. Do you have a favorite by any chance?
No, but one of the things that I think is my favorite about the magazine in general is that it's such a collection of full-time RVers.
Yeah.
You know, so you're not just going to get our perspective of something. You know, it's not Mike writing articles about fixing something or me on a recipe. You know, we get full-time RVers that all have their perspective in a niche that they're strongest in. You know, so I think it's a great collaboration to be able to bring all of those brilliant minds together, you know, and work together, whether it's sharing each other's audiences, you know, to spread the word. So that's my favorite thing about the magazine itself.
There's a lot to be said about having like an expert on a particular topic, be able to share their experience and share, you know, how they perceive something, because I think it just educates us more and prepares us more for whatever may come ahead. So I think there's a lot to be said about that. Right. Kind of peeling back the onion a little bit on a personal level, for our viewers, a little bit more about you. So are you guys full timers? Are you weekend warriors? How would you guys describe yourself as far as your travels go?
Well, I would say we'll probably never really be full-timers, right? Because our definition of a full-time RVer is somebody that only lives in their RV full-time. They don't own a house somewhere else. And we're very fortunate that we own our home. So no matter how much we travel around, we'll always have our home base. So I guess we'll never be what I would call a traditional full-time RVer, but we are hardcore weekend warriors, I guess you would call us, right? Yeah. We are out every single chance we can. And I'm surprised we don't spend the night in the RV in the driveway sometimes. And we just love being in there.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
you're like 26 weekers or, you know, 35 weekers. You're spending a majority of your time out and about is what I'm gathering.
Yeah.
Every minute we can.
We will be traveling more often for longer stretches, but at the moment, we're not quite there yet.
Yeah. Got to get our last one through college, and then we'll be on the road a whole lot more.
Well, I mean, nothing sounds like college than moving from one apartment to the other. So that's always, you know, that's always a fun experience.
Oh yeah.
Do you guys have trips coming up? Or do you want to tell me about your last trip?
So my last trip was, I guess, Chincoteague.
Yeah.
I took I had my annual father-daughters camping trip. And Susan and I aren't married, and she has 2 daughters and I have 2 daughters, but we still go every year with our daughters on our own individual camping trips. And so I just went to Chincoteague, Virginia with my 2 daughters about a week ago. We had an awesome time down there. It's great to hit the beach. We love beach camping. In fact, our trip before that was beach camping that we went on together. Right. And it was phenomenal. My daughters are 29 and 30. And I just consider myself the luckiest dad in the world that my kids are that age and they
still want to be with them.
They still look forward to our camping trip every single year. And I'm just so happy about that.
As a father of a 6-year-old daughter, you give me hope that, you know, that what the attention that I receive now from her will at least continue, you know, for the foreseeable future. So you're, just a little break, right? Just a small little chunk of time there.
Yep.
Yeah.
We'll figure that out.
Yeah. We're about ready to go to Indiana, though.
Yeah, we have some big trips scheduled. We're going to head out to Indiana in the middle of August for the Midwest RV Super Show. So we'll be out there shooting video for all kinds of tours videos that we'll be making after we do that. We're also going to hit the RV Hall of Fame. We're going to go visit our friends over at Keystone RV and tour their facility and see how RVs are made there. So that'll be a
Awesome.
fun trip for us. And then in September, we'll be at the Hershey RV show for that week.
Nice.
And that's a big show. And we were so bummed when that got canceled last year. So we're super looking forward to that. And we hope we can invite our followers out to, we'd like to have a get together one night. And, just, we run into people at the RV shows all the time. They come up and say hi. And we just love that. It's so cool to meet people. It's a big part of why we do what we do. We just enjoy that so much. And, so we'll be there.
The videos allow you to get that personal connection with your audience. You don't
Right.
get that from a blog article.
Yeah.
But with a video, they feel like they get to know us personally as, human.
Yeah.
And so, when we're at an RV show or if we're at a campground and somebody recognizes us and says hello, then you got that personal interaction.
No, that's awesome. And I know that obviously there was a lot of shows and events canceled both this year and last year. And, so there's a lot of making up to do. And that's really cool that you're thinking about your viewers to get, possibly a little get together on one of the nights. I think that speaks volumes to how much you guys are involved with them. So I would just say kudos there. But before we sign off, I wanted to spend just a few moments because it was mentioned and I didn't bring it up quite yet. So tell me a little bit more about your Facebook group, because I could have sworn earlier, I thought I heard you say that it was a year old and 45,000.
Yes.
Did I hear that correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
People? 45,000 people?
Yes.
It's incredible. It just blew up.
Yeah. There are hundreds of people that request to join daily.
Yeah.
It's great. It's really great.
And it's a fantastic group. I mean, we've had people get on there like, I have an emergency. My whatever it is.
I need a response right away.
This happened. My refrigerator is not working and all my food's going to get warm. What can I do? And right away, people are just responding like, check this, check that, check this. Are you level? What's, is the breaker on, just a million things. And, all of a sudden they'll be like, okay, I got it fixed. Thanks everybody. Thanks for all your help. It is just so cool to see that kind of interaction. And it's immediate. I mean, it's just so much fun. Or somebody will be like, hey, we're going to be passing through California. Where are some great places that we should go camping out there? And they'll get hundreds of answers. And so that's a great community too. And we're glad we started the group. I just had no idea it would take off like that. But seeing everybody help everybody and give great information and then everybody that gets a new RV, they post a picture of themselves with their brand new RV.
Their maiden voyage.
Right.
Yeah, it's just so much fun to see it all. It's incredible.
Yeah.
So I'm going to ask you two questions. The first one's an easy one. Second one, you'll get a little bit of time on, but the name, I would like to know the name of the group one more time, because I didn't have that one written down. So I wanted to make sure everybody out there, because I know a lot of our demographic enjoy Facebook and enjoy the back and forth, right? So I want to make sure that I give our viewers time to get a pen and paper and write it down. But then also what you guys would define as like the success of it, because a group in Facebook a year old with that count is very impressive. So I'm wondering what you would attribute that success to. So we'll start with the first one, which was a little bit easier, which is the name of it.
Well, the group's name is RV Camping for Newbies.
So just look it up on Facebook and
RV
then
Camping for Newbies.
Yep. And then answer the questions to get in. And we do request your email to get into the group. There are so many spammers on the internet these days. We don't want people getting in the group and trying to sell how to buy Bitcoin and all this stupid stuff.
Which still happens.
So we do our best to keep that at a minimum.
Yeah.
But why are so many people signing up to the group?
I don't know.
Or the success of it. What would you contribute to the success of it from?
Well, I hope that, I don't know. I mean, I don't know the secret to Facebook, but I really hope that it has been successful enough to those that are new and you know, maybe they've passed the information along to their friends, like, hey,
Yeah.
you should join this Facebook group. We do have quite a few people that will invite their friends or their family to join as well. So, you know, I really hope that people have found so much, you know, information and knowledge from it that maybe that's what's helped, you know, its success. So.
Yeah, I mean, we mention it in our YouTube videos and stuff, but I think it's really people inviting their friends and family to join the group too. That's really propelled it as quickly as it's grown. I can't think of another reason why it would have grown as fast.
Well, and I love the example that you gave, right? Which is somebody said, oh my gosh, my refrigerator is broken, my food's about to spoil, and they reach out to this group and they get a whole bunch of responses, right? And you mentioned a little bit thereafter, you also said, yeah, we try to keep out the spammers, we try to keep out the ones that are trying to pawn off Bitcoin or, you know, whatever it is that they might be selling. And so I think, you know, selfishly, my opinion, the idea of keeping the community or the group for what the community and the group is, almost as if you were like out RVing or out and about, and just kind of keeping it pure like that. And then to your point, the friend recommendation, the family recommendation, that just brings more like users in. So I think kudos, guys. I think that's really awesome. Again, any questions or comments, please leave them in the comment section, either for Wholesale Warranties or Mike and Susan. Thank you guys so much for joining us today, answering our questions. We really, really do appreciate your time. And then more importantly, I would say thank you for not only educating our viewers, but the RV community as a whole. And I think if anybody out there is watching, if you have any questions whatsoever as it pertains to RVs, go to Google, go to YouTube, look up RV Blogger, and then the topic, go to their website. I am relatively pretty confident that the answer is out there. And if not, it's probably coming in the very near future.
Let us know if you didn't see it. We'll write an article or we'll make a video.
Right.
And that's basically all we got. So again, guys, I wanted to thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
And I look forward to you guys getting your 501, and we look forward to helping with that. You know, from Wholesale Warranty standpoint, if any viewer out there is looking for a personalized quote for RV protection, we are here to educate our clients as well. Buy from us, don't buy from us, but at least learn from the years of experience that we have in this industry. But again, Mike and Susan, it was my pleasure, and thank you again for taking time out of your day to talk to our viewers.
Absolutely. Thanks so much for having us. We really, really appreciate it. And it's been a pleasure meeting you as well. We've really enjoyed it.
Good. Well, you guys enjoy, and safe travels.
Thanks. You too, Jim. Take care.
Take care.